Live from Marquette, this is your campus news source, MUTV News.
Welcome to MUTV News Monday night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Landgraf.
And I'm Catherine Lawler. In our top story tonight, an alumni of Marquette University is making headlines in the Milwaukee area. Milwaukee Common Council President Alderman Willie Hines Jr. will be sharing his story in a Soup with Substance segment from Marquette Hall to City Hall and back again, nurturing a passion for improving civic life. The segment will take place on Wednesday, October 24th at 12 p.m. in the AMU Room 157. Hines plans to discuss ways of nurturing life for all people of large urban areas like Milwaukee. Make sure to get there early. The event is free.
In recognition of Disability Awareness Month, Marquette is hosting events and providing talkbacks on these issues. The movie, The Journey into Dyslexia, will be held tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the AMU 227. The film explores the emotional effects dyslexia has on individuals, along with society's expectations of intelligence and how it affects a person's ability to fully participate and be accepted. Likewise, College of Communication senior Justice Shorter will share her story of acceptance and growth beyond her disability on Thursday, October 25th at 7 p.m. in La Lumiere Hall 216. Talkbacks and questions and answers will follow both events.
Teach for America will host a bookmark drive and information session next Monday at 7:30 p.m. in Hutchinson Hall. Those who come can make bookmarks and hear current Teach for America members talk about their experiences and answer questions. Teach for America got its start back in Milwaukee in 2009, and now over 6,000 kids in over 30 Milwaukee schools are being reached. The corporation's mission is committed to providing quality education for children living in poverty. Submission deadline for the program is November 2nd. Contact Marquette Campus Coordinator with additional questions. Abortion can be a controversial topic on college campuses. As Respect for Life Week kicks off at Marquette, Vicki Thorne, founder of Project Rachel, which deals with post-abortion healing ministry, plans to discuss reconciliation and healing. Her presentation, Abortion, Soul, Wound of the World, kicks off Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Clark Hall. Other events going on in Respect for Life Week include a bake sale tomorrow at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. under the Rayner Memorial Library Bridge, and a screening of October Baby on Thursday in Clark Hall at 7 p.m. Respect for Life Week is sponsored by Campus Ministry and Students for Life.
This week, Marquette Greek Life joins for a competition between Greek chapters. Greek Week is filled with events ranging from dodgeball, soccer, basketball, and relays. All 15 chapters on campus will be participating. All events count for points, and the winning sorority and fraternity will be crowned Greek Week champions. Chapters also earn extra points for participating in Make a Difference Day on Sunday, November 3rd. The week ends with a cookout in Schrader Field. Coming up after the break, breaking news from Racine County where officials say a plane has crashed.
Plus, the final presidential debate is underway. That and much more when MUTV News returns.
Live from Marquette, this is your campus news source, MUTV News.
Lawmakers are reacting to the spa shooting in Brookfield. Democratic state lawmakers plan to reintroduce a bill designed to take guns away from perpetrators of domestic violence. A judge issued a restraining order against Radcliffe Franklin Houghton Thursday, October 18th, where he was prohibited from owning firearms. However, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department has made no statement regarding Houghton surrendering any weapons. Under the bill formally introduced in 2009, those ordered to turn over weapons would have 48 hours to comply. Before voters take to the polls on November 6th, President Barack Obama and Republican nominee Mitt Romney will partake in a third and final debate. The debate will take place in Boca Raton, Florida. This debate will focus on foreign policy. The debate offers the candidates one final chance to capture undecided voters in battleground states like Wisconsin. Last week's debate had viewers on edge as it seemed that two candidates came close to physically clashing. But even in a debate focusing on foreign policy, the two presidential candidates will find moments to try to pivot the discussion to the top issue with American voters, the economy. It won't be easy to bring up abortion or contraception on a night devoted to Chinese currency manipulation, troop drawdowns in Afghanistan, and red lines for Israel and Iran, but analysts say President Obama will most certainly try. In all fairness, the same dynamic holds true for Romney, who is predicted to focus on taxes, the federal debt, and Obama's lack of vision for a second term.
Tune in to the debate right after our newscast tonight. President Obama and Mitt Romney won't have a chance to impress some voters tonight after today marked the start of early voting across the country. In Milwaukee, Mayor Tom Barrett and actress Ashley Judd were on hand to welcome early voters and stress the importance of voting in this election. Nationwide, approximately 35 to 40% of eligible voters are expected to cast their vote before the election, about a 10% increase from 2008. 35 states and the District of Columbia offer some sort of early voting, whether it's in person or by absentee.
The rate of vehicles that fail Wisconsin's emissions test are down nearly 1% compared to last year. Earlier this year, vehicles failed the test more frequently due to over-reported fail rates. Vehicles are rejected if their onboard computer does not send a signal to the emissions testing equipment. Businesses conducting the test cannot tamper with any vehicle that may fail. The many mechanics and dealerships who help with testing vehicles sign up to do so in hopes of attracting new customers and generating more income.
In a result of a national fungal meningitis outbreak, the government has released a customer list for the specialty pharmacy of the center of it all. The outbreak has been tied to steroid shots made by the New England Compounding Center, according to the FDA. The company recalled the shots that went to clinics in 23 states. Later on, all the company's products were recalled that reached even more states.
The man killed in a fatal motorcycle crash in Greenfield was identified. Police reported that Todd D. Petterkey was killed Saturday night as he tried passing a vehicle in the right lane. Unfortunately, a West Allis Department of Public Works vehicle was stopped in the left lane where it was too late for Petterkey to stop. He lost control of his bike and was thrown into oncoming traffic. Authorities reported that Petterkey died on the scene from his injuries. The crash is still under investigation.
Today wasn't Lance Armstrong's day, as it was announced he was stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles and banned from the sport for life. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency accused Armstrong of leading a massive doping program on his teams. The report includes 11 former teammates of Armstrong's who have testified against him. His downfall continues after resigning as president of his Livestrong Foundation and losing sponsorship from Trek, Nike, and Anheuser-Busch. Armstrong continues to argue the system was rigged and biased against him.
Wisconsin welcomed a new system for measuring school performance today. The state issued new report cards to nearly every school in order to reshape how the public views their progress with students. The report cards will exceed average proficiency in reading and on math state tests. The report cards were fast-tracked due to a waiver Wisconsin received earlier this year from mandates of the educational law No Child Left Behind. Wisconsin was forced to roll out its own system of measuring schools.
Scientists made an interesting find today as they uncovered audio of a whale imitating speech of a human. The whale song sounded so close to human speech that divers thought that it was a human voice. Studies from the handlers at the National Marine Mammal Foundation in San Diego have recorded sounds from beluga whales for years. An acoustic analysis uncovered that the human-like sounds coming from the whales were several octaves lower than the whale sounds. The whales were actually copying human sounds, much like dolphins and parrots. Well, coming up next in MUTV News, we have the weather with Lisa, and hopefully we won't be experiencing stuff like dolphins in the water. So much rain today, but that will be up next.
Live from Marquette, this is your campus news source, MUTV News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lisa Mihalik with your MUTV News weather update. So if you take a look at the nation here, out west we have about 70 degrees. Down in California we have around 68. Down south in Texas we have 75. Our neighbor south in Chicago is 57. Out in Atlanta is 56, and out east is 52. So all across the board, I would say. If we look at our state here, out in Eau Claire is 62 degrees. Out in Wausau is 57, Green Bay 58, Madison 57, and Milwaukee is 58. So pretty average, I would say. Tonight is going to be mostly cloudy at 48. The winds are south-southwest at 23 miles per hour winds. So pretty windy, I would say, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Tomorrow, as you wake up for class bright and early at 9 a.m., keep your umbrellas out, maybe invest in a poncho because there are going to be some showers at around 62 degrees. You wouldn't want a rainy walk to class. The winds are still going to be 23 miles per hour. If we look at our 5-day weather forecast here, things are kind of heating up, I would say. Wednesday at 52, Thursday at 64, Friday at 50, Saturday at 64, and Sunday also at 64. So, you know, enjoy the weather, have some fun this weekend, but that is all we have for our weather tonight. But stay tuned because after the break, we'll have Natasha with sports.
Live from Marquette, this is your campus news source, MUTV News.
Welcome back to MUTV News, and for our last segment tonight, we are joined by Alex Engler, who is the editor-in-chief for the Marquette Journal, which is going to be released tomorrow morning, I believe. So Alex, welcome.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about the first issue of this year, what readers can expect?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have a few exciting stories for you guys. Our cover story is going to have to do with the election. It's a different take on the election. It's more about the youth vote and, you know, our political engagement in this election compared to the 2008 election. It's discussing our issues. It's discussing are we as politically engaged as we were last year? And, you know, if we're not, what might be the reasons for those? What are the implications? And so that's our cover story. We have a few other stories going in there. I don't want to release too much, but you know, we have a story in there about McCormick. It's the epitome of, you know, Marquette freshman life. It's the dorm that we all love to hate. And so we have that going. And then we have another story about Caffrey's versus Murphy's, kind of the stereotype there. That's more for our upperclassmen, you know, the people who regular our two favorite campus bars. Yeah. So
that's good. So it seems like you guys have a pretty wide variety of stories this year. I should say, how do you guys decide on them?
Well, we actually started in the summer. We started brainstorming. Once we got our staff list together, we started talking, you know, what interests the students, what interests our friends, you know, things like that. And so once we kind of got that ball rolling, then it becomes a lot easier from there. And it's a lot easier than you would think, you know, because you just talk around with your friends and, you know, what excites them, what makes them laugh, what interests them in their daily lives. And so that's kind of what we like to focus on. And then from there, we like to take it on a more specific angle. But, you know, it's just a really staff effort with that. It's all of our reporters, all of our editors, all of our photographers, you know, we all talk about what is important to the Marquette students.
That sounds fantastic. I cannot wait to pick up my issue tomorrow.
Oh, good.
How would you compare this year's publication to last year's publication?
Well, you know, we are still focusing on the importance of student life, being a Marquette student, so that hasn't changed. I guess what we are changing is just more trying to focus more online. This year we have an entire online staff, and so we publish daily online, which is a pretty big feat for us. And just like really trying to push more of have a presence online. You can visit us at themarquettejournal.org. And that's really what we're trying to push for. It's not a dramatic change, but it's something that, you know, we really like to push for as we go into the future. Absolutely.
Now, what are some of your goals for the journal this year?
Well, you know, along with us going digital and focusing online, it's really just about having a fun, engaging environment in our print edition. You know, we really like to think that people want to pick it up, and so, you know, we just want to keep that going.
Awesome. Alex, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you.
And that's all we have. Next time, see us on Wednesday on MUTV News.